There's been a lot of talk regarding Black Ops 7 and its campaign due to the reveal yesterday. And one thing that I'm actually concerned about, or one thing that I really didn't like, is this report that came out from Charlie Intel, who was part of an invitation that happened, I think, last week for a lot of content creators and people that cover Call of Duty. They were invited over to a closed event where they were able to get early access of the game, play it, and share some feedback, ask questions, and all that good stuff. And one of the people there was Charlie Intel, and he comes out with new information saying that Black Ops 7 is a co-op campaign and there is no difficulty setting like realism or veteran. The co-op campaign will adjust the difficulty based on how many players are in your squad, up to 4. And I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I think that is one of the most stupidest things that Call of Duty could do when it comes to a campaign. And like I talked about yesterday, I am excited about Black Ops 7 from what I've seen so far. There are a few things that I'm not liking, like the zombies coming back in the campaign potentially, but there's potential for a good campaign here. Milo looks like he's gonna do very good as David Mason. All of the other characters look very interesting. The world that the game is set in looks like it can deliver, an epic experience. But why mess with something else that doesn't need to be messed with? Why not add a difficulty option? And I think in the year that we're in, 2025, and there's so many accessibility settings and things to welcome gamers, brand new gamers, old gamers, whatever, there's a lot of work that has been done to welcome everyone into gaming. And you do something like include a no difficulty setting. And for some people, it might not be a big deal, but for others, it might be. Because what if maybe you're a veteran player of Call of Duty and you want to play the campaign, but you don't really want to play it on a really hard difficulty level. You don't want to feel like the enemy is killing you at every turn or facing these really powerful enemies. Maybe you don't want to do that because you're just dying over and over again. Maybe you want to play the campaign on normal like most people, or you want to even play it on recruit because you're a newer player and you want to jump into it, or you've never been good at solo campaign first person shooters for a multitude of reasons. It doesn't matter, and you just want to play it on recruit because you want to enjoy the story for what it is. That's it. Just a smooth ride, enjoy the story, replay it, redo missions, whatever you want. And you want to do it on easy mode, right? Why not give that to the fans? You've done it always. Why switch it up now? There was no need to do that. And that is something that when I read that, I was very, very, very disappointed because I think it's stupid. When you play these games that have no difficulty settings, you're playing them because you're into a certain franchise, you're into a certain genre. This is what that franchise or that genre is kind of known for. When you play Souls-like games, there's no difficulty setting. The difficulty adjusts to what type of player you are. It adjusts to how good you are or how bad you are or whatever. And sometimes I've had difficulties getting into the Souls-like genre because when I try to play one of those games, it's increasingly difficult for me to gauge the difficulty. Sometimes it feels too hard and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just gonna keep on dying. So what if it's the same thing with Black Ops 7? Obviously, I've played Call of Duty for a long period of time. I should have no issue supposedly playing the game because I'm going to adjust to it and I'm going to figure it out. But doesn't it just make it much more harder for the average person that doesn't really care about the game being hard? They just want to enjoy the game for what it is, something simple, 7, 8, 5-hour campaign, whatever, and do it at their own pace. I don't understand the reasoning behind not doing it. And then what seems worst, I guess, is that this endgame mode, which is the 12th and final mission of the campaign, according to the developers themselves, is this big 32-player extraction mode. And they say that you're going to put all of your abilities, everything that you've learned, all of your upgrades to the test in this full map of Avalon where you're going to be fighting against overwhelming odds. That's what they said. That is the language that they used to try to survive. That mission already sounds like it's going to be extremely hard. And say that you play this campaign, I don't know, solo, and you don't have any friends to play with. Like, that happens too, right? So you're playing it solo, and it's going to be increasingly difficult if the game has adjusted to you being like a good player or something, and then that final mission is super hard and super complicated, and the armor of the enemy is extremely high, and it's just really, really hard to kill. It's going to be a headache, it's going to be a drag, and I think it's honestly just going to cause undue stress on a lot of people. I think that is a bad choice. From all the positive, I would say, that I've seen so far from Black Ops 7 and some of the things that I've liked, this is one of those things that I cannot get behind and I cannot understand. I think it's such a stupid move. I think it's such an unnecessary move, to remove difficulty settings, and I really hope that this isn't the norm going forward. I don't want the next Call of Duties to come out over the next 5 years, 4 years, to have no difficulty settings. That would be absurd. Now, another thing that I would like to say is that if you decide to play the campaign solo completely with no type of help whatsoever, there should be a difficulty setting. If you decided to play the entire campaign in co-op mode, then I guess I would understand why there wouldn't be a difficulty setting, because you and your friends would probably play on different settings. Like, what if I want to play on normal, my friend wants to play on recruit, and my other friend wants to play on veteran? So it would kind of make things difficult. So if you remove it and you kind of have it adjust to the way you all are playing, then it kind of makes sense. But that's the problem, right? That's the problem with trying to do this co-op campaign and all these things. It feels like the campaign should just be simple. I mean, I don't understand why we're trying to do these open combat missions, or we're trying to do the co-op campaign, or making the final mission this 32 player extraction. Like, they're little things that they don't need to change. What happened to the normal 7-hour campaign from Call of Duty that's a linear story and it all happens within the campaign? It begins, it resolves, no problem, just the campaign. That type of campaign, that type of story mode is not outdated whatsoever. So sometimes Call of Duty tries to innovate or tries to do something different, and we end up with something, in my opinion, that just seems so much worse. Are you guys behind the idea of having a no difficulty setting in Call of Duty Black Ops 7, or would you like to be able to choose the difficulty, no matter if it's recruit, normal, veteran, or realism?